everyone. So today I'm here with Jared, the founder of Sandlot and part of our Pause for a Cause campaign.
So great to be here. Thanks so much for having us.
So tell me, what is the Sandlot all about?
The Sandlot Children's Charity supports people with disabilities to help provide financial assistance, allowing them to get involved in athletics or active programming, whether it's directly providing assistance to the individuals and their families or supporting organizations that create the athletic and active programming for them.
Who do you help and what makes this organization so special?
So we work with people of all ability types, and our goal is to try and help break down the barriers that sometimes get in the way of these kids and these adults from people who try to tell them what they are and are not capable of achieving. They try and put a limit on their potential. They lower the ceiling for these amazing people who are capable of doing special things. They just sometimes need the opportunity to prove that. Or unfortunately, in some circumstances, they need the financial resources to be able to even have those opportunities. Right. Because a lot of times getting involved in the programming or the programming itself can be expensive. And we want to make sure that the cost is not a prohibitive element in allowing them to grow and develop and have the same opportunities that anyone else was able to have either growing up or into adulthood.
How did it all get started?
Well, it started in 2017. Really, the first steps towards starting Sandlot was at an Ascension coffee shop with a family friend who was involved in the development of nonprofit organizations and events. A woman named Carla Rosenberg, who without her, we wouldn't be here today. I knew that as a broadcaster, I would have the ability to have a reach, a platform that the average person maybe wouldn't have the opportunity to take advantage of. And it was always something in my heart that if I settled down in my hometown, the place I grew up in Dallas and the DFW community, that I wanted to use that platform to impact the community. I don't have a family member who is a part of the disability community. I think a lot of times there's an assumption that that was the inspiration. It's just being around people part of this community growing up and their zest for life and their ever-present smiles, and it doesn't matter what challenges they face that I can't comprehend, that they approach it with a positivity and an energy that I think is contagious. And I've always wanted to fight for these people when others are trying to fight against them or disregard them or ignore them. And that's always been something that I think at a young age, I maybe didn't realize it, but I always felt a certain way about that. And I'm just incredibly proud of the support that we've received and grateful for the support we've received, allowing us to serve as one of several little armies that help support people, a part of the disability community.
If you win the prize money, what would it go towards? What would you use it for?
Well, we've got some really exciting things brewing at Sandlot. In the past, we've had a grant program that supports various organizations or families a part of the disability community, but we actually are in the very beginning stages of a multi-million-dollar capital campaign to try and bring a facility that really only exists in Phoenix, Arizona, that has been an inspiration for us as a charity called Ability 360, creating our own version of that here in DFW. It's essentially an athletic campus. It's inclusive, which means it's open for all ability types.
Wow.
And would be a home for programming for people of all ability types. We would originate programming for people with disabilities, provide services for those individuals as well as their families, and just hopefully bring people together. One of the core values that we have at Sandlot, while we do support people with disabilities, it's not segregating those folks, creating an atmosphere where they're just all together. We want to bring people of all ability types together. And we think it's a mutually beneficial relationship. I think both sides learn and both sides benefit. I think eliminate stigmas as well by putting people in situations to get to know folks with disabilities and understand their perspectives and understand what they go through and see their challenges, but also how they take on each day. And the love and support that I witness when I see people come together like that is incredibly inspiring. And we want to try and create that while offering opportunities, not just for these individuals, but for so many of these organizations that sometimes need a space or a home, whether it's permanently or just to use to carry out some of their programming to encourage the growth and development of all these amazing people.
Can you share a story of how you've made a difference?
We started our grant program in 2018. We've distributed more than $250,000 worth of grants.
Wow.
The organizations we support, one that stands out, Buddy Up Tennis, which is this amazing organization that teaches tennis to kids with Down syndrome. And we volunteer as a charity out there. Seeing the Sandlot volunteers, board members, people part of our ambassador program go out and their facial expressions as they interact with their buddy for the day, helping them on the tennis court, just learning basic skills, but really just having fun. I think about that. But then I also think about a young lady named Stacy Johnson, who we first came across through Special Olympics. We have supported programming that Stacy's been a part of, but we've also supported Stacy's individual pursuits directly through our grant program. And I get update from Stacy's mom, Martha, about Stacy's progress, and now she's in this competition and she placed here, or she just went here to do this and she had such a great time. And then when I see Stacy, she comes up and gives me a big hug. And I think that's our goal. We want to have those types of relationships with people. That hug that I get from Stacy whenever I see her, it means more to me than I think she'd ever realize. And it shows us that what we're doing is helping others. It is putting smiles on people's faces. It is giving people opportunities. And the more people like Stacy who we can impact, the better off as a charity we're going to be in terms of accomplishing our goals.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, being able to speak to you and being part of our Pause for a Cause campaign. Good luck, and I hope you guys win. Is there anything else that you have to share for today? Anything else you can add?
Just so grateful for you and for Tiger Air supporting us in the past. And there's a lot going on 24 hours a day. And for you guys to take the time to put together this program, spotlight charities, whether it's Sandlot or other organizations, is really amazing. So thank you guys for all that you do to help the community.
Go Sandlot! Woo!